So I want to cover this concept, and it will actually help you to scale up your trading. So it's this concept of utilizing a signal day, so a daily closure that actually gives us information about the next day trading, and then a signal on the day. So the best trades, the scalable trade setups will have both. We'll have a signal day, and then we'll also have a signal on the day. So I'm going to talk through current price action. It's currently Wednesday, so the daily candle has just closed. So if we're looking at these markets here, so I just trade gold, the euro, NQ, and ES. So on gold, what we can see here is we had a signal day. So a signal day, the three main signal days that I look out for are close and breakout, close and breakout, an inside bar, so a day that actually stays inside the previous day's high and low, and a false break. They're the three main ones. And then I also look for 3 days of high and low. So these are using Stacy Brock's concepts. So what we want to do is, first of all, identify, do we have one of these kind of days? And basically, this is how we will be able to push the risk more. Not every trade is the same, and we should not be treating them the same. There is a difference between a bread and butter trade, just a session scalp, let's say, and an actual scalable trade that we want to be putting more risk on. So I shorted gold in Asia last night, and that's because we had a setup on the day. So all of my trades, I trade reversals better. So all of my trades, I want to see this type of behavior. I want to see a movement up, and then I want to see sideways behavior. So we want to see pump, sideways behavior to then take the dump down. There is variations where you can then take the continuations, but I'm not as good at those straight up. So the majority of my trades, I want to be selling a pump. So I will only take a trade if price action looks like this. We have space created sideways. So if we think about it logically, what's going on here? So price has been pumping all day. So from New York, we take out this level here, and then we pump, and then pump. So we've got three pumps up, sideways behavior. So then I was just looking for the short here. I can actually show my playbook. No, I can't. I'm not sharing my entire screen. But yeah, my pre-market game plan for this was literally outlining that exact thing. Everyone who's in profit is long. We're now going sideways at the high. What we will do now is we'll eat into those longs. Even if we are to continue up, which we did end up doing, we will eat into some of those longs. So the main thing I'm thinking as I'm coming to every session is what happened before that session. So looking left. So for me, what happens before the session is just as important as what actually happens in the first hour, second hour inside the session, because even though this is the session times, this is still price action. So we can't ignore this. What did we do? We had that full cycle happening coming into the session. So that pump, space being left, ready for the dump. So this day then closed in breakout. So this was a false break, and it closed at or near the extreme. So this was the high of the day, and this is where we closed. We closed in breakout. So the next day then, this is our signal day. We have our CIB, our close and breakout. So we want to now look for a signal on the day. So the next day, we're then looking for a sell high setup. So we don't trade just going in thinking, okay, yeah, we've had a close and breakout, so now I'm going to short it. It has to set up that way. So we have to get a setup. So we have to have a setup on the day. So signal day, and then signal on the day. So here, same thing again, pump up, level 1, level 2, level 3. So it's 3 levels up after a close and breakout. So the close in breakout actually gets traders in the market. When we have a market that closes in breakout, we then know there's a load of people who have been pumping into that just piling in, piling in. So what we're looking for then is a sell high setup. So we then, anytime I will see a closing breakout, so a daily candle that closes like this, I'm then following that along. So I'm following it along. Maybe the next day there isn't a trade, but maybe it's the day after. But I know that once we have a closing breakout like this, we will get a aggressive move back down. And it's just about waiting for that. So then today on gold, we went up 3 levels, have our sideways behavior, and then the best setups will go sideways and then we'll liquidate that. So this was a little bit of a higher one, liquidation, but we can see then once they've done the damage, they've got traders to buy in all 3 sessions, then that's when the fucking floor falls out and they all just get eaten into, fast, violent, and hard. So if we're looking on some more daily closures, so just to reiterate that, we want to have a signal day, and I'll cover this more. Also check out Stacey Brooks stuff, fucking brilliant. Signal day, so that's the day that actually lets us know, okay, this needs to come up on our watch list. We need to watch this tomorrow. And then once that happens, we're then looking for the signal on the day. So here we have a signal day. So we have 1, 2, 3 closes in breakout. So to define close and breakout, I define it as a candle that has closed outside of the previous daily candles ranges. So it can count even if it closes inside the wick, but it's more strong of a signal day if it closes outside of the wicks. And then a candle that closes at or near the extreme. Either of those definitions work. So here we have 1, 2, 3 closes in breakout. And then we also have a false break. So this is a signal day. So then what we want to do is we want to look for the signal on the day. So we've had our signal for a long trade because we had 3 days that went down. So then I don't just blindly buy. I waited until, so I only trade New York. I live in Peru. I'm trading live now as well. So trading every day New York live. So if you do want to hop on live with me, I'll put the link below. So then when I came to the screen, what I was looking for is this here. So as I came to the screen, we were here. And then I'm marking out my levels. I'm okay, so where can we anticipate a trade from? We already have our bias is long because of the signal day. So now I want to look for either a sell high opportunity or a buy low opportunity. So because we were up high, we want to be buying down low. So we have our signal long, so we're looking at for any area that we can potentially take the trade from. So I'll always, always, always take a trade from a zone. 1 second. Excuse me. Has to be in a zone. And what I mean by a zone is an area where we previously broke structure from. So this was a clear zone here. And then wait for it to open. New York dumps down, reverses, and actually took this trade on the live session and take profit at the previous day highs here. So that's the signal on the day. So we had the signal day, and then we wait for the signal on the day. NASDAQ, same story. 3 lower closes, looking for the signal on the day. So let's look at the dollar now. So the dollar, oopsie daisies, I want to do the daily. So now the dollar, we're looking, this is going to close in an hour, and this is now going to close in breakout. So we're closing outside the previous candle's ranges, closing in breakout. So that's going to be our signal day. And now what we want to do is wait for the setup on the day. So we have the signal day. So now what we want to do is drop down. And now tomorrow, I'll be looking for a signal on the day. So we have the space created. We've got the pump. Now I want to see sideways behavior. And I would love to see a liquidation on the top and then a breakdown. And then I'll be shorting or longing euro tomorrow when that happens, if that happens. So here we can see an example of it. So it doesn't have to be at the total extremes. So here we have a close and breakout. So we opened up here and we closed here. So it was a close in breakout. the candle closed at or near the extreme outside of the previous candle's range. So this market is now in breakout. We know there's volume in the market long. So now we're looking for the setup on the day. What do we want to see? Either a buy low or a sell high setup. So when we came to New York, and I love to look at the charts this zoomed out. So I used to look at them like this. Like if I was on the 1 minute, I'd be looking at it like this. And you just get so sucked in and zoomed in. You don't know what's going on. You don't have a reference point as to where you are in the market. Because when we look at it like this, I can see, okay, I've had my closing breakout. We're up high. What am I trying to do? Look for a setup on the day. Do we get it? Yes, we do. We get our pump, sideways behavior, locked in. So this was a trade on euro. I took euro long. So that's a signal day, closing breakout, and then the setup on the day. And at today, again, signal day, closing and breakout. Tomorrow, we'll look for the setup on the day. So hopefully that helps. I know probably needs a lot more reference. I'll be doing much more videos like this now, really touching on strategy stuff. So yeah, I'll wrap it up there. Just keep these kind of bite-sized and focusing on a specific topic each time. Let me know any questions. I know it was a little bit vague and it will require more context. But yeah, have an amazing week, guys.